Okay, now I'm going to start distressing my top page. And, you know, just do the normal paper distressor, whatever it is you use. And it's okay if it rips, because I really want to do a deep distress on this. And, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this and fast forward. Okay. All right, now what I want to do is grab my canvas. I'm just going to set this down here. I want to see where all of these rips and things are going to be. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. But what I would like to do at this point with these on here is I want more than just distress ink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a lighter, a wet paper towel, a piece of aluminum foil, and I'm going to take the batteries out of my fire alarms. Okay? Yeah, so if you're a kid watching this, don't do this unless you're supervised. And for some adults, you probably shouldn't do it unless you're supervised as well. And, well, I could be one of those. So, here we go. Okay, take some paper towels and have a cup of water nearby so that in case things get out of hand, you can always douse it. But get your paper towel ready, get it nice and damp, and get your lighter thing. Since we don't smoke, this is the closest thing we have, and this is what I use for my candles. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just gonna do a controlled burn, if there is such a thing. All right, so here we go. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of putting the flame over the top of it. I'm not really looking to set this on fire, but if it happens, it happens. Just kind of, see? Boom. All right. Can you see that? That's the look that I'm going for. I'm looking for that charred look, and Distress Ink just can't give that to me. Okay. All right. Here is my paper, and I'm going to try and bring it up so you can see it. There's my charred edges. Is everybody oohing and eyeing? And now going and lighting candles in their house so they can get the smell of burnt paper out of the air. Hopefully it's burnt paper and nothing else. Okay. All right, the other thing that I'm looking to do once I put this down is I've taken some of the canvas, the actual canvas that came in the main kit. And I'm going to put some of this under here because, as we all know, with the paper, you can't quite get a nice frayed edge as much as you can with burlap. And I'll just show you this here. What I did was I cut a piece of burlap, and I eyeballed it, really. I just kind of put my picture over the top of it and just eyeballed it, and it comes apart so easily. You just take your finger and pull, and these little strands kind of come out, but save the strands because you're going to use them for later. Wink, wink. Okay? And that's kind of what I want to do at this point is I am just going to cut little strips, just enough so that part of it can be adhered underneath, and then the rest of it can be pulled. So I'm not using big pieces of it. I don't want to waste it. This stuff is awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab me some pieces and put some in various places to make sure that I'm kind of liking it. And I think, if I can find my scissors, I'm just going to cut a corner here because I want the burlap to be underneath this piece right here. So again, I'm not using any measurement, just grabbing and cutting. And I'm going to pop that under there. Have it kind of hang off the page a little bit. Grab that. And I've got another one for the top side. Another reason that I'm adding actual burlap to the side is that I intend on using molding paste and gesso at some point, or white paint. And when you go over something with a texture, as you well know from inking things with Distress ink, that the paint and stuff will just pick up the top edges. And I want that on the edge of my canvas. I want there to be some texture near the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and here, I'll just show you basically. You just kind of take your burlap, and you can already see you've got some edges here. You're just going to pull. See how easy that is? And it just comes apart. And it doesn't come apart evenly, which is even better. And there you have it. So one of the things that I'm going to do first is I'm going to put Mod Podge around in places. Put my paper down. Mod Podge will adhere to fabric. So I'm going to make sure to put some extra and possibly even some glossy accents down, because glossy accents will hold this like nobody's business. And I'm going to start to put this part together. And I'm going to probably fast forward through part of this. So here we go. And you know, the other reason why I like to burn my edges of paper sometimes is that especially when working on a canvas, when you add Mod Podge, as I mentioned earlier, anything that reacts to moisture is going to begin to move, and it's going to begin to blend and go other places. And I don't want this going other places. I want it right where it is. I suppose you could use archival ink. So those of you who are out there screaming at me about that, I just prefer to use fire. All right, I do have bubbles in certain places, but I'm not going to stress over it. I'm going to now use my heat gun and dry this up a little bit.